Alright, now we're going to look at the fruits of the Spirit. We just did a video on the works of the flesh. Now we're going to look at what the fruits of the Spirit are. And this is Galatians 5, and it's verses 22 to, we'll go to 22 and 23. These are 9 character traits that everybody that is born again, that is born of the Spirit of God, and that has the Spirit of Christ, you're going to be born again, and these character traits are going to be changed within you, and you will display all 9 of them. Let's check out what they are, you guys. This is incredible. Alright, Galatians 5:22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, and temperance. Against such there is no law. See, when you have these character traits, you're not under the law. You are under grace, and you've been given the Spirit of Christ. This is incredible, you guys, because I never knew that this is how the whole thing worked. And I don't have these yet. I have some of these, but when you're born again, you will have all 9 of these. Now we're going to look at what these mean. Most of them are pretty obvious, but let's look. Now these are the fruits of the Spirit. God has all these character traits, okay? Okay, love. Obviously, love. We're talking about self-love, the opposite of selfishness. To love and to do. You're always looking to serve and to benefit others. Never doing anything for a selfish need or a joy. So, pure love. Okay, then you got joy, which we know joy. Just having great joy and happiness, and I mean, we all know that not everybody has that. Okay, if you do have that, then you have a fruit of the Spirit. That's one of the workings of the Spirit. It'll give you great joy in Christ. Okay, so then you're going to have peace. See, peace, there's no war, there's no arguments, no debates. You're just going to have peace. Okay, that is another working of the Spirit. So if you know people that have great peace, I mean, we're talking peace when they are tried and put in stressful situations. Okay, the people that have been born again, no matter how hard they're squeezed or pressured, they're still going to display these 9 character traits. It's fantastic. It really is. Okay, so we got love, joy, and peace. Now let's look at that long-suffering. Now what is long-suffering? That makes me, just by hearing the word, my thoughts kind of go right to, you have great patience. You know, that's what I think. You, with the shortcomings of others, you're patient with them. Think of how patient God is with us. Let's look at the Greek word. The Greek word for this is macrothumia. Macrothumia. And it means patience, endurance. Think about the patience of the saints. They're going to endure the trials of Satan that he's going to bring his temptations. Constancy makes me think consistency, steadfastness, perseverance. He has all these things God's people have. They can endure and persevere through the greatest trials in their life. I fail at some of these terribly, so I need to ask God and ask Christ to work with me with these things. And then we have patience, forbearance, long-suffering, slowness in avenging wrongs. You're not going to hold a grudge. You know, some people hold a grudge to their grave. You're not going to do that if you have God's character. You're going to forgive, and you're going to be patient and loving. So that is really good to know, you guys. Let's look at the next one. And then we have gentleness. Look at gentleness. I've been told that one of my best character traits is that I have great gentleness. I never knew it until people have told me that. But that's a God-given ability. If anybody has that, to be gentle, where people can approach you and they know that you're not going to, rip their heads off. You're not going to yell at them or judge them. So I can display gentleness, but I have the other one as well, the bad one. So let's look at gentleness. Because God's people will always be gentle, The Greek word is chrestotes. Chrestotes. I think that's how you say it. It just means moral goodness, integrity, benignity, kindness. See, the integrity, I'm kind of at both spectrums. I've been the sinful man where I've had no integrity and complete shame and not even felt bad about it. But then at times I've displayed integrity, good integrity. So, when you're in between the spirit and the flesh, you're an unstable man. You can display both at times, and that's not good. We don't want that. When you have God's character, you will always display it. So that's something I need to work on with God. Okay, so we know. So that's a good one. Gentleness. Then we have goodness, just pure goodness. Faith. I love the faith. You have great faith, and you believe whatever God tells you, whatever the Word says. That's what the truth is, and you will do the things that you know to be true as well. I struggle with that part. But let's look at goodness. We got the Greek word agathosune. I think that's how you say it. It means uprightness of heart and life, goodness, kindness. Some of these go together, From goodness, that is virtue of beneficence, just pure goodness. Okay? And let's look at faith. I want to see the Greek word for faith used here. It's the word pistis. The Greek word pistis. And it means conviction of the truth. Yeah, there you go. Great faith. You believe whatever God tells you. Conviction of the truth of anything. Belief in the New Testament of a conviction or belief respecting man's relationship to God and divine things. This also makes me think of naive, because I've been very naive. I went to church spent a few years going to church and trying to learn about God. Quickly you find out, my experience anyways, that you can't learn about God in church. It's because the people in church, they don't really know about God. they just kind of have their own man-made traditions and doctrines that they make up. But it's none of it's of the Bible. Very, very, very little of it. So then you get discouraged and you quit church, but the Bible is the one place, you guys, where we can learn about God, all of us. It's the one place that has no error, and we can accept it. We can accept it at face value. God means what He says, and you study it, and He will give you an understanding if you ask Him. He's shown great mercy to me, because I don't deserve to even know it, because I still have sin in my life. But He has been working with me and showing me the real truth, not man's truth about the scriptures, but His truth. It's absolutely incredible. Okay, so that's faith. We got two more. We got meekness. Meekness, remember, the meek shall inherit the earth. And the Bible also tells us that Moses, God spoke to him face to face, and it also says that Moses was the most meekest man on the entire earth. So God's people are going to always display meekness. And I always think gentleness and quietness, but an aspect of meekness is also being teachable, being very teachable. So let's check this out. It's the Greek word praotes. And it means gentleness, mildness, meekness. So you can see a lot of these go together, you know what I mean? Humility, being humble, being teachable. Okay, so that's what meekness is. Being very mild-mannered. You're not a loud mouth. You don't want everybody to hear what you have to say. You're okay with just being quiet and waiting your turn. Okay, so meekness. And the last one is temperance. This one is probably the worst one that I've had experience with, because temperance means self-control. Means not being a glutton, sitting down and ordering a large pizza and eating it all yourself because you crave it and you lust after it. So self-control, or you got to drink a case of beer, just terrible things like that. Temperance is self-control. Let's see what else it says. It's the Greek word enkratia. And there you go, self-control. The virtue of one who masters his desires and passions, especially his sensual appetites. So there we go. It's just self-control over anything, you guys. Knowing when not to be selfish, not to want more, and have more and seek more of anything that your heart desires and you have an appetite for, food or video games or lust or behavior or sexual immorality. I mean, whatever the case, gambling, it could be anything. So those are the character traits, you guys. And it says, against such there is no law. There is no law because those people are not under the law, okay? But they do keep the law because the Spirit of Christ is in them. And if the Spirit of Christ is in them, they're going to keep the law because Christ is going to keep the law because he's the only one that can. You guys see? God the Father and the Son, they're the only ones that can. And then they give their spirit to other beings, and then through the Spirit, then they can also do it. But it's the only way. So, all right. That is the fruits of the Spirit. So, hope that helped. We're going to look at some more. I'm going through Galatians right now, and it's an incredible book. So, all right, you guys, that's it for this video. I will see you soon, and God bless you.